Hello, welcome back to our series, How to Survive and Thrive the Downturn by Using Lean Tools. I am Gerard Leone, principal with the Leonardo Group Americas, and I am joined here by Richard Rahn, also a principal with our firm. We have been focusing on working capital, and right now we're going to go into finished goods inventory, one important element of working capital, and another source of cash sitting there waiting to be used. So, finished goods inventory, what is it? Is all that inventory that has been backflushed or that the work order for it has been closed and it is a complete product a customer wants to buy or can buy and it is still in our books. If you have inventory on consignment and it's not yours, it is not a part of finished goods inventory. So, what do we want to do about it? We want to get rid of it. And how do we try to manage it? Well, we try to manage it by guessing how much inventory we may need in case a customer calls. So what do? We try to forecast it. And trust me, if you can forecast what the customers will ask, you should not be watching this video, you should not be in manufacturing, you should be in Vegas right now making some real money. So Richard, why do we need it?
Yeah, some of you, let's admit it, some of you watching this video maybe are a build-to-order company already. I mean, many industries are inherently build-to-order and you don't have a lot of finished goods. So really what we're talking about are the kinds of finished goods that you don't have a customer for. For example, the aerospace industry, usually you're not building things based on speculation or forecast. You're building on an actual order in hand. And you may have some finished goods, but it's basically just waiting to be delivered to your customer. That's not the kind of finished goods really we're talking about. We're talking about the kind of finished goods that we've built and we don't really have an order for it yet, and we're hoping that we can sell it at some point. So that is what we are discussing. And as Gerard mentioned, we typically manage that in a traditional manufacturing environment based on a forecast or a guess as to what the customer is going to want to buy in the future. And as a famous economist once said, forecasting is difficult, especially when we're talking about the future.
Absolutely. And then let's not forget the direct relationship between the amount of finished goods inventory and lead time. One of the reasons why we need finished goods inventory is because we cannot, with our current system, our current value stream, we cannot respond to the customer demand on time. So what happens there is that we need to have inventory to overcome our internal speed. We have already addressed that by linking and balancing and coming up with a line that can make product in the shortest possible time.
Now we've already talked about this concept of pull, so let's apply pull to our finished goods inventory. Could we set up a pull system basically to ourselves? We set up an inventory of finished goods that allows us to respond to actual sales or consumption of those finished goods, and we replenish it, we refill it. I think that's what we're talking about. We call that finished goods Kanban. That would be a way not so much of eliminating finished goods, but managing the quantity of finished goods and not letting it exceed a certain quantity. Because of course the Kanban methodology implies that we have a quantity that we're managing to, and we refill that quantity. So that's not a zero finished goods inventory, but it's a strategy to maintain a level or constant amount, and then we can adjust that up or down as we need to, as we go through time.
A relatively quick and simple approach that we have implemented with some clients is what we sometimes call the 3-bin system. In other words, our customer is using the 2-bin system and they have 2 bins always ready to be consumed. When they consume one, they will send a signal back to us, and that is where the 3rd bin comes into play. Instead of us producing on the basis of that signal, we ship on the basis of that signal, sending a signal back to the value stream where we go ahead and manufacture. That gives us a little time to respond to customer demand and also allows for stabilizing, again back to having smoothness in the production system. So 3-bin Kanban, finished goods Kanban, a methodology that we can implement relatively quickly. You should be looking into that. So what kind of benefits can we expect?
Well, here's a case history for you. This was a medical device company that we worked with, and they were trying to manage, again, finished goods based on a forecast or their best guess of what they were going to be selling. And when we started working with them, they had about $8 million worth of finished goods inventory, finished devices in a box ready to be shipped in their warehouse. and analyzing demand patterns, analyzing their ability to respond via their manufacturing processes to refill that inventory, we calculated that they really needed about 2 million. So how are they going to manage to 2 million? Well, instead of forecasting, we put in place a finished goods Kanban system that took them down to 2 million. So that was fairly easy. Obviously, it took some time to work down the inventory to that 2, but once they got to 2, they were not going to, again, build it back up again as market and mix conditions changed.
And that was for the glucose meter, right?
Yep.
And again, when you think about glucose meters, similar to the case that I'm about to tell you, think about consumer products, things or products that the customer is not willing to wait for. So the case I can tell you about was a reduction of 50% in finished goods inventory, not as dramatic as the one Richard told you about, for bath fans. And again, here you're looking at companies. Think about the companies that buy and sell the bath fans to you. They have, they wield a pretty big stick. So when they say jump, oh well, if you make their stuff, you jump. So also we look there at a 3-bin system, specifically a 3-bin system with a reduction of 50% in inventory. So there you have it, finished goods Kanban, one tool that we can use to reduce our working capital requirements.
One final recommendation. If we can reduce our lead time through our factory, and we had a previous discussion on reducing WIP and cycle time, if we can get that time down small enough, we may be able to convert from being a make-to-stock company to being a make-to-order company. If our customers are willing to wait for that shorter amount of time that it now takes, we may be able to actually eliminate or greatly reduce finished goods inventory simply by being more responsive.
Absolutely, don't forget it. The key here is the reduction of lead time through linking and balancing of processes. Thank you for your time.